In this video, we are going to look at some questions from Mathematics Paper 2 of 2022 for internal. Now here we'll look at question 9 from section B. Here we have been given a non-right angle triangle ABC. Now the question reads, the diagram shows a triangular piece of land, ABC. Given that AB, we can see this distance of 1 kilometer, then BC distance of 2.5 kilometers, and AC distance of 2.8 kilometers. Now the question is calculate the angle ABC. So the angle is denoted by the middle letter. So here we are looking at this angle. So that is our first thing that we need to do. Now here, the first step that we are going to do is we need to indicate the distances with its corresponding angle. So this distance is corresponding with angle A. So here we are going to have small letter A. Then here we have small letter C. Then at 2.80 we are going to have small letter B. Now we don't know the rule to use. We don't know if we are going to use the sine rule or cosine rule. So how do we know that the rule that we are going to use is cosine or sine rule? So let's look at what we have been given. So from the question here, we can see that we have been given 3 distances, and the question is we are trying to find the missing angle. So whenever you are given 3 distances and asked to find the angle, you use cosine rule. Now for sine rule, if you are trying to find the angle using sine rule, you are only going to be given 2 distances and 1 angle. So whenever you see 2 distances, 1 angle, and asked to find the second angle, then sine rule must be applied. So let's look at our cosine rule in this question. Okay, so now here we are going to begin with letter B. Why? Because B is the distance that is corresponding with the angle that we are solving for. Okay, so B squared is equal to, we are going to have A squared, the A 2.5 plus C squared, which is 1 kilometer, minus 2AC cos C, the first letter in our case cos B, which is the angle that we are solving for. So now let's substitute the values. So the distance for B, we can see it is 2.8 squared is equal to the distance for A is 2.5 also squared, plus for C is 1 kilometer also squared, minus 2.5 1 then cos B. Now let's square 2.5. So 2.5 squared is giving me 6.25 is equal to 2.5 squared. I'm getting, okay, sorry, this should be 2.8 squared. I wrote 2.5, so 2.8 squared, 7.84. Then 2.5 squared is 6.25. 1 squared is 1 times 1, which is 1. Then let's multiply 2 times 2.5 times 2.8. So I am getting 14 cos B. So here we are going to add these two since they are like terms. So 7.84 will be 6.25 plus 1 is 7.25 minus 14 cos B. Now our point here, we want to make cos B the subject of the formula. So anything without cos B should cross this equal sign. So our 7.25 will move to this side. So we are going to get 7.84 minus 7.25 is equal to negative 14 cos B. So let's do 7.84 minus 7.25. So I'm getting 0.59 is equal to negative 14 cos B. So what you do, we divide by negative 14, also here by negative 14, so that if we cancel, we have this cos B is equal to, so 0.59 divided by negative 14. So I'm getting negative 0.04214285.7. So we are going to move our cos to this side, giving us now our B is equal to cos inverse of negative 0.04214285.7. So what's our answer? So shift cos answer, I'm getting 92.4 degrees. So this is the angle here. Okay, so now we can move on now. So let's indicate the angle here. So from our calculations, we have this angle 92. We can just say 92 degrees, so we can round it off to the nearest whole number. Now the question in Roman number 2, we are trying to calculate the area of triangle ABC. So the formula for the area is equal to half. Now from the three distances, we only need two distances. So what are those two distances? The two distances that we are going to use are those that are forming the angle. So the distance AB and BC are the ones that we are going to use. Why? Because of the location of angle 92 degrees. So we are going to use distance C and A. So it's half times AC so times AC sine the angle is B. So area is equal to half. The distance for A is 2.5 kilometers multiplied by our C is 1 kilometer sine, what's our angle? Our angle is 92 degrees. So let's multiply the numerator. So 2.5 times 1 times sine 92. So I'm getting 2.4980. You can just say 477068 kilometers squared, then over 2. So our final answer will give us, if you divide by 2, I'm getting 1.24. If I round off, 5 kilometers squared. So this is our area. Then from there we can move on to shortest distance. So the formula, shortest distance is equal to 2 times the area divided by B. So 2 times the area, we have calculated 1.25 kilometer squared over what's the B. So now from the statement, shortest distance from B to AC. So the distance AC represents the B. So what is the AC? 2.8. So this value here. So over 2.80 kilometer. So since we have this kilometer, we'll cancel, giving us 1 kilometer. So let's now multiply 1.25 times 2. I'm getting 2.49. So 2.4984 kilometers over 2.8. So if we divide by 2.8, my final answer is 0.9. So 89. So if we round off, is 0.9 kilometers. So this is our shortest distance. Okay, so now let's move on to the same question, question 9b. Solve the equation. So our equation is 2 cos theta is equal to -1. So our first step here, we are going to divide by 2. So we need to get rid of the number in front of the trig ratio. So we divide by 2 here. So we have this cos theta is equal to 2 into -1 will give us 0.5. Now this negative indicates that we are solving for an angle where cos is negative. So from the 4 quadrants, cos is negative in the first and the second quadrant. Now the first quadrant run from 0 up to 90. So any angle within this is in the first quadrant. Then the second one from 90 to 180, that is the second quadrant. 180 to 270 is our third quadrant. 270 to 360 is our fourth quadrant. Now from the first quadrant, all the 3 trig ratios are positive, so meaning we can just say O. We just write letter O, letter A. So this means that cos of any number from the first quadrant will give us positive. Tan of any number from the same quadrant will give us a positive even sign. Now in the second quadrant, sine is positive while tan and cos are sine is positive while tan and cos are negative. In the third quadrant, tan is positive while cos and tan are negative. In the fourth quadrant, cos is positive, tan and sine are negative. So now from there, let's look at where our cos is negative. So cos is negative in the second quadrant, cos is also negative in the third quadrant. So we are looking for 2 angles from the second and the third quadrant. Now from this range here, we can see that we have been given an option of the angle that we are solving for should be between 180 to 360. So the angle from 90 to 180 should not be part of our answer. So therefore, we are saying we are only going to find one angle from the third quadrant, from 180 to 270. That's where we have negative cos. So let's first find the first angle here. So what we are going to do here, first we are going to assume this is positive 0.5. Since if we find negative 0.5, it is going to give us the angle from the first the second quadrant. So what you do is first you ignore the negative. So if we ignore the negative, we move our cos to this side, giving us theta is equal to cos of -1 of 0.5. So cos of 0.5 will give you 60 degrees. Now 60 degrees, we can see that is falling in the first quadrant, but the point is we need to find an angle in the third quadrant because of the range from 180 to 360. So how do we find the angle? So the angle in the third quadrant should be found by 180 plus the angle in the first quadrant. So the first quadrant gave us an angle of 60 degrees. So if we add 180 plus 60 will give us 240 degrees. So this is our answer, and we can see that this answer is falling in this limit here. Okay, so now we move on to question C. Simplify 42xyz divided by 56 times 32xy divided by 40x squared y. So there are so many ways in which you can simplify a question like this. So let's see what we can do. So the first part, this part here, we can break it into 2 numbers. So we can break it into 2 numbers. So this is if we multiply 21 times 2 is same as 42, then times x times y times z over 56. We need to break 56 into two numbers where one of those two numbers should be common with one of the numbers that we are going to break 32 into. So 56 we can say is same as 8 times 7. Then 32 is same as 8 times 4 times x times y over 40 is same as 2 times 20, then times x times y, since we have x squared. Now let's see what we can cancel. So I can cancel these two, I can cancel these two, we can cancel this x, we can cancel this x, we can cancel this y, also this y. Then let's also cancel the diagonal. We can cancel this 8, we can cancel this 8. Okay, so now let's look at what we have remaining. So here we can see that we have 21. Now 21 is 7 times 3 times z over 7 times here we have 4 times x times y over here we have this 20 is same as 4 times 5 times x. So let's see what else can we cancel. So we can cancel this 7 here. Okay, then we can also cancel this 4, this x can be cancelled also. Then from there we can see that now there is nothing that can be cancelled. So from this part here we can see that we have 3 and z. So 3 times z is just 3z. Over here we have 1. So over 1 times z. Here we can see that we only have y. Over here we can see that we only have 5. So over 5. Our final answer is 3z times y is 3yz over 1 times 5 is 5. So this is our final answer, since it cannot be simplified further. So this is how you can answer this question from section B of mathematics paper 2. So for those that may want to start online lessons with me, kindly feel free to write in my inbox in the comment section below. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.